What's going on, guys? CJ here. Listen, I want to tell you about Buzzsprout. Let's say you want to start a podcast. I don't know what it could be about. Maybe you like to fucking cook. Maybe you have this fucking pot roast recipe that you got to share with the world. It's so fucking delicious. It's the best. But you want to tell the world how to do it, and you don't know how. Well, Buzzsprout is here to help. What you do is you record your episode on your phone, like I do, or whatever you use, and you upload it to their website. They will then distribute it to all the podcast directories automatically. They even have magic mastering software which increases my voice and drones out the loud fucking cars that seem to be driving by every single time I'm recording. Anyway, definitely check out the link in the description. You'll get a $20 Amazon gift card for signing up for a paid plan. That's $20, people. That means you can buy my book, Worthless. It's only for $3.99. You will have much more things to buy on Amazon after you buy my book. Just saying. Buzzsprout. Link in the description. Let's get this motherfucker started. What up, bitches? Back at it again with another episode of the motherfucking CJ Bronson podcast. Today's Tuesday, May 24th, 2022, and that's it, man. Monday's in the books. Monday is done. What a fucking day. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday seemed like it was one of the longest fucking days ever. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was having a rough Monday. You know what happens. I'm not always having a good day. Sometimes, I have to fake it till I make it. But I think that's most of things in life. You really have to do, just pretend like you love doing it. So, because otherwise you're just going to be miserable doing it. So you might as well just pretend. Think about being somewhere else when you're doing that job or task, as long as it's, you're safe. I don't know what your job is. I don't want you to be thinking about sleeping when you're driving. I don't know. That's not a good idea. But, that's what Tuesdays are for. Tuesdays are for making up for all the bullshit you missed yesterday. Maybe you didn't. You didn't get to enjoy your long shower yesterday because you were rushing. Maybe today you got to do it. Really spend time and scrub between those toes gently and caressing that pinky toe like you love to do. I don't know what you're into. That's none of my business. That's none of my business. But if you want to message me, text me, or tweet me, whatever, at CJ Bronson Show, go ahead. Feel free to explain, provide pictures. I love to see and watch and listen. But hopefully you went for your walk already. You had your couple of smokes, a couple of drinks, coffee. I'm talking coffee to wake up. Because that's what we have to do. If we didn't get everything done yesterday, we have to tackle today. Kill it. We have to crush today. But at the same time, as you guys know, I always preach, if you have kids, or if you don't have kids, it's good to be aware of your surroundings. Because you might be a hero to a kid in need, a kid in danger, a kid who may not have anyone else to turn to, or be afraid to turn to that person, due to repercussions. In today's episode, I want to talk about this horrific story, horrible story. I'm not going to mention where it's located or where it took place, but, I'll read it, and maybe you'll pick up on it without me saying it. Prominent transgender activist touted by New York Times arrested and charged. What do you think a touted, famous New York Times transgender activist would be charged with? Wait, what could he be charged with? Oh, how about 16 felonies for fucking rape and sexual abuse of a boy? Yeah. New York Times. Out of all the transgenders, because there's so many of them, apparently, right? Out of the millions and I don't know how many countless they are. I'm sure someone has those stats. I don't have it. New York Times puts this one on the pedestal. Maybe let's give he or she or whatever the pronoun is, the transgender, the benefit of the doubt. Let's keep reading. Again, I jump to a lot of conclusions here. The articles grab me, so I gotta, what the fuck? Let's read it and see what's going on. Maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe, I got the game messed up. Let's see. Carlos Reza Daniela Aparicio Hernandez. Jesus. Carlos, you know what? We're just going to call you Hernandez. Hernandez, a prominent transgender biological male activist from El Salvador, touted by the New York Times, was arrested in Utah Utah. You thought you were safe in fucking Utah. You're like, oh, I'm not over there in those crazy liberal states, those crazy Republican states. I'm in Utah. Nothing ever happens in Utah. Well, guess what? He was arrested in Utah for raping a boy. Hernandez, 36 years old, mind you, was charged with 16 felonies. That's 1-6 felonies for the rape and sexual abuse of a 15-year-old boy. Can't make this up. It's not a joke. Ain't nothing funny about this. When you see the pictures of this, what this person looks like, then you'll crack a smile, because this kid, to believe that this creature is anywhere near his age, that alone I feel sorry for him about. Hernandez was busted by police in a sting operation after luring in the young boy by posing online as a 15-year-old girl. So this grown-ass man, 36, posed as a 15-year-old girl. Because how else are you going to fucking get a kid that age, right? I mean, you gotta think. I gotta think. Because that's a natural thought process, right? That's a natural thought process. The kid is 15. I want him, so I gotta think like a. No, dude, you're fucked in the head. You should think to yourself, this is wrong. I should not do this shit. But 36-year-old Hernandez, New York Times, on the pedestal of New York Times, busted by police in a sting operation after luring in the young boy by posing online as a 15-year-old girl. I say it again and again because when you see these photos, guys, when you see these pictures, you're going to be like, not only do you not see 15, not only do you not see this person as 15, you don't see this person as a gender. I don't know what the fuck this is I'm looking at. I'm not saying that because I find him a piece of shit, garbage human being who should be fucking castrated and thrown to the dogs. That's not why. I'm not going to say that his limbs should be tied to trains and taken off in multiple directions at the same time while being punched in the face. I'm not and kicked in the nuts. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying based on his photos, I don't know what I'm looking at. But let me continue. The victim accepted a friend request from Hernandez on, guess which app, guess which platform, on Facebook last January, believing he was actually a teenage girl. Well, you're a kid, very gullible, and maybe that's why they prey on them. I don't know. It's sad, but it's fucking crazy. The victim invited Hernandez to his home. Okay? And that's when he realized he was actually chatting online with a 36-year-old transgender child predator. Dude, you didn't look in the fucking peephole, bro? You didn't look in the fucking peephole before you opened the door and seen this grown-ass man standing there in drag, basically? Sorry. That offends anybody, but when you see these photos, and I'm not sorry, because this is a piece of shit person. I shouldn't have any respect for this person. This person didn't have any respect for the kid or the kid's parents because he just shows up at their house. Like, come on in. Just open the door. Carlos. Okay, so a prominent trans activist who was highly praised by liberal media outlets and institutions is now facing, 16 felony charges for the alleged sexual abuse of a minor following a sextortion investigation. Some Chris Hansen shit right there. Shout out to Chris Hansen. To Catch a Predator was one of my favorite shows growing up. Hilarious. You guys have a second or you're bored, go on YouTube, look up some of the links or the clips from To Catch a Predator. Fantastic show. Fantastic. Carlos what's Hernandez? Hernandez, 36, of Taylorsville, Utah. Taylorsville, Utah, guys. A biological male who identifies as a woman named Reza is accused of the sexual abuse and exploitation of a 15-year-old boy after sending the victim a friend request on Facebook posing as a girl, right? As a teenage girl. We know this. According to charging documents, The 15-year-old victim accepted a friend request on Facebook in January of 2021 from someone. So January of last year, he accepted a friend request from someone he believed was a female of his own age. Then, after communicating for months, the victim sent nude photos at the request of Hernandez and was later asked to meet in person, court documents state. This poor kid, man. He's thinking he met maybe a soulmate online, my age. Sure, I'll send you my PP. You want to see my dick and balls? Sure. Kids are gullible. Like I said, maybe that's why these people prey on them. I don't know. The victim invited Hernandez to his home in West Valley City, Utah, where he then discovered that the girl he thought he was talking to was a transgender sexual predator. Upon arrival, Hernandez forced the boy to engage in, quote, sexual acts by blackmailing him and threatening to release the minor's explicit photos if he didn't comply. What a human garbage. Hernandez recorded the assault, the charging documents state. Oh my God, the two met on 3 separate occasions following repeated threats from Hernandez, according to court documents. So just to recap, this guy's already in the kid's house, right? He's already there. He says, listen, if you don't fucking do the things I want you to do, I'm going to release these photos that you sent to me. Then he records that, most likely, the sexual acts. And the fucking blackmail most likely continued because they met on 2 on 3 separate occasions following repeated threats from Hernandez. Heartbreaking, man. Hernandez was given asylum in the U.S. because of the anti-LGBT discrimination in Mexico. Look at that. Come on in. We'll take anyone. I don't understand. What? Again, I always say, guys, these kids, man. Let's look at some of these counts. Let's look at some of these charges, what they include. Oh, man. Is charged with 16 felonies, right? The charges include 1 count of aggravated sexual extortion, 6 counts of forcible sodomy, 3 counts of forcible sexual abuse, 5 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, and 1 count of enticing a minor. Jesus. 2017, he fled his home country of El Salvador, granted asylum in the U.S., and eventually settled in L.A. He was a champion for trans rights, gained notoriety among trans activists after the New York Times featured him in an article in 2018 about all the obstacles he faced as an LGBTQ migrant. The New York Times described Hernandez as a, quote, transgender human rights activist, end quote, who fled El Salvador in June of 2017 for the U.S. after facing severe police brutality. They apparently did not beat his ass enough. Following the publication of the New York Times article, Hernandez was invited to the Cannon House office building in D.C. to give a speech at an event held by the the Council for Global Equality in 2019. He also spoke about the alleged discrimination he experienced from ICE because of his gender identity and sexuality. Then in March in 2020, Hernandez was invited to speak at the University of Southern California on the topic of asylum, disability, and mental health. Wow. So he was featured in multiple articles, right? We have another article in 2018, Univision article. He was hailed as a transgender immigrant activist. So here's a guy who's propped up his entire life or adult life, and he probably thought that, hey, listen, I can get away with anything. I am in the good light. Do you know who I am? Don't you know who I am? I'm Reza, a.k.a. Hernandez. Didn't you read the article? No, I'm a transgender immigrant activist. Maybe that went into his mind and he thought he could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. I don't know. What should his sentence be, guys? I say life without no balls. That's what I say. Who's with me on that? Who's with me on that? Right? So we're going to fill up our prisons with these people. Eventually, you know what's going to happen. They're going to get released on good behavior, or maybe their sentence is reduced because of good behavior, or let's say they do the whole term, the whole length, 10, 20 years, and they come out. You think they're going to stop? Are they going to stop once, they think that's rehabilitation? I don't know. Is castration a rehabilitation? I don't know. But if I tell you what, if you tell somebody or you make it known that if you do these things to kids and you're caught, we're going to cut off your fucking genitals. I don't know if that's a prevention, but it's a prevention for me to do to stop doing anything. Right? If they told me, listen, don't have a Snickers bar again. If you do, I'm going to cut off your dick. I ain't having no Snickers bar, son. I don't even like chocolate no more. I ain't going to the bar. I ain't going to, nothing. Anything with bars in it, I'm staying away. Snicker bars, anything. I don't want nothing to do with nothing chocolate. That's maybe we have to do that. Maybe we have to be extreme like that. And I will gladly volunteer to cut off those fucking testicles and dicks, whatever. I will gladly gorilla glue the vagina shut if I have to do that. I don't know what you have to do down there, but I'll fucking make sure it is horrific. Because, what else are we going to do? I mean, I'm asking parents to watch their kids. I'm asking you guys to put, to look into your kids' Facebook accounts and shit and see what they're doing. They're not 18 yet. I understand privacy. Trust me. If anyone understands privacy, it's me. I have tons of stories to tell you about how my privacy was invaded. But up until 18, those are your kids. Forget what Kamala Harris said. I know she's touting and laughing about fucking heckling, chuckling away, hyening away about how, those are, not just your kids. They're the community's kids. When they're out here, no, fuck you. That's my kid. That's my kid. Those are my genes, my genetics. And even if it's not, I raised him. I fostered him. I adopted him, whatever. Those are my kids. It's my job to look after their well-being until they're 18. That's a law. I thought that was a fucking law. Am I wrong? Even if it's not a law, to me, that's just common sense. Maybe the common sense is not so common these days with everything going on. I can kind of understand that. So I'll gladly remind you guys as much as I can, whoever's listening, that those kids are your responsibility to look into their social media accounts, to look into their phone records, to see what they're doing, to be involved in their life. This poor kid probably had no one to turn to. Imagine that. You're 15. You have no one to turn to. You don't want to get yelled at by your parents. You don't want to get humiliated by a teacher or a friend. What do? Well, if you're in that situation and you can't talk to your family members or to, parents, another parent or to a teacher, go to police, go to the fire department, go to, an EMT, anybody of authority. The majority of them are good people. They will help you. They will find a way to help you. They're here to help. They do this job because they want to help people. I truly believe that. Are there a couple ones that are fucked up and sour? Yeah. There's a couple of fucking parents who are fucked up and sour. There's a couple of fucking teachers who we know are fucked up and sour. But you know what? The majority of them are good. But if you don't feel comfortable talking to those people, please find somebody with authority. Especially the police or fire department. Those guys are awesome. I hate to bring this story to you on a Tuesday, but it's important. It's important to me, and it's crazy to me that this guy was propped up by the New York Times and other liberal media outlets to be this amazing trans activist. Are they going to retract their stories now? Are they going to turn around and say, you know what? This trans activist that we've been talking about for 2 years, whatever, in 2018, whatever the fucking year was, 2017, it turns out this is who this person really is. No, they're not going to fucking say that shit. Why would they say that shit? Why would they purposely go out and make themselves look bad? But other people who read their garbage paper are going to fucking read this shit, and now they're going to take everything that they say, to word, as law, as truth. And they think everything that they read on that paper, nothing happens afterwards. No. What you see in the paper is not what's really happening behind the scenes. I always say that on the news. It's not what's really happening behind the scenes, behind the curtain. There's a wizard behind the curtain. And it's sad, but it's our responsibility to take care of our kids, our individual kids, our own kids. I don't know. That's my little Tuesday rant. Media's fucked up. All of them, man. I'm not touting Fox. They're all kind of fucked up. I don't know who to trust anymore, to be honest with you. I try to look up these articles, a couple different sources, and I just tell you what I gather from what I'm reading. Who knows? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what to believe, but I'm telling you what I think is happening, and that's what my podcast is about. It's giving you my opinion on the news that I read. It's sad that unfortunately a lot of it recently has been attack against the kids. Outside sources, from inside sources, and unfortunately educational sources. It's just and then the baby formula thing happening, we got abortion going on. It's crazy, man. So pray for our kids, look after our kids. You know what I mean when I say that, obviously. It's our future. It really is. All right, guys. That's a Tuesday episode. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. Comment, like, subscribe, share, rate. Don't forget, these motherfucking drivers like me are out here killing ourselves. Not killing ourselves, but we're struggling. I find myself working longer hours now to make more money. And I'm really not making that much more money because no one's really tipping as they should. And you got to remember, maybe you were giving $5 last year, but gas prices are double. So if you can afford $6 or $7 for the tip, please do that. I promise you'll get your food faster because the order will be accepted faster. Otherwise, your fucking food's going to sit there, And then same with a tip for the rideshare driver. Think about this poor bastard. He has to drive around in traffic and shit, pay tolls, all the gas he has to drive. Plus, you fucking farted in that back seat. I fucking did. Twice. So that alone should be worth an extra couple bucks. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's my 2 cents. That's my episode for today. I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.